In this video, I'm going to show you how to write linear equations. So our directions say write equations using point-slope form and rewrite it in slope-intercept form. So just a recap, point-slope form is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Okay, where m is going to be a number and x1 is going to be the x-coordinate of a point, so that will be a number, and y1, is going to be the y-coordinate of a point, so that's going to be a number. The y and the x are going to be variables. So let's look at part A. They tell us m equals 3, so the slope is 3, and it passes through the point 1, negative 2. So I start by writing my equation for point-slope form. I like to write this out every single time. And now I'm just going to substitute my values into this equation. So we have y minus y1 is negative 2. Notice I substitute into parentheses. I like to stay organized. 3 equals 3 times x minus, substitute 1 in for x1. And I'm going to clean this up a little bit. So here we have two negative signs, so I could rewrite that as y plus 2. And in the set of parentheses, I don't need that 1 in parentheses anymore. So let's just rewrite that as x minus 1. So now I'm going to transform this equation into slope-intercept form. So remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. So I have to get the y term alone. So I could just start off by subtracting 2 on both sides, but I'm going to clean up the right side a little bit. Okay, I'm going to distribute this 3 first. So this becomes y plus 2 equals 3x minus 3. And now at this point, I'm going to subtract 2 on both sides of the equation. And on the right side, I want to make sure that I combine minus 3 and minus 2. Those are the like terms. So I end up with the equation y equals 3x minus 5. So that's my equation in slope-intercept form. And just take a note here. If they had asked us write an equation in point-slope form, we would have stopped here. Okay, that is point-slope form, simplified. So let's look at part B. Part B, they give us a slope and a point again. So just like in the previous example, I'm going to start by writing, point-slope form. I'm going to substitute my slope and my point into this equation. And, some people actually like to say or write, hey, this is x1 and that's y1. So we have y minus, y1 is negative 6, slope is 2/3, x minus, x1 is 0. So just like in the previous example, I'm going to simplify my signs. Now over here, this is x minus 0. I don't need to keep that 0 there. To say that I'm not subtracting anything from x seems a little bit silly to write that. So I'm just going to rewrite that as x. And now I'm going to get y alone. So I'm going to subtract 6 on both sides. So 2/3 parentheses x, I could just rewrite as 2/3 x. I don't need those parentheses for any reason. And I'm going to write the minus 6 after that. Can't combine that minus 6 with 2/3 x since they're unlike terms. So here I am done. This is my equation in slope-intercept form. Now notice that the point that they gave me at the beginning, 0, negative 6, that actually was my y-intercept. I could have just jumped right to slope-intercept form from the start if I had recognized that the point that they had given me was my y-intercept, and they had already given me the slope. Okay, I didn't have to go through the trouble of writing this equation in point-slope form. I could have jumped right to slope-intercept form. That is not true in the first example. Notice, the point they gave me is not the y-intercept. So I could not have skipped the step of going through point-slope form. That was crucial. So even though my slope is the same and it shows up in slope-intercept form, I needed to go through the process of point-slope form. Okay, so now, one more thing. Some people may ask, well, what if we're given a graph and we're asked to find the equation of a line given a graph? Well, the first thing you need to do is identify a point on the graph and, second, find the slope. In order to find the slope, you may remember from the slope video, you need 2 points. So our first step where it says find a point, we might want to say find 2 points. Find 2 points on the graph, then find the slope. And third, when you go to write your equation, you're going to use 1 point, okay, one of the 2 points that we found, and the slope. So once you've identified your 2 points and the slope, the process is just like part A.